Hey gorgeous, it's Ker-leen. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I will be sharing some signature scent worthy Arabian fragrances. And by signature scent, I mean these are fragrances that can be worn year round for several different occasions and are easy to wear. So if you're interested in hearing all about these fragrances, then please keep watching. Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to tune back in. I am super duper grateful for you. And to those of you who may have stumbled across my channel, over here I talk luxury, I do review videos, I share my fragrance journey, and I also sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle. So if you enjoy any of those things, then I think you will love it here. And I would love to have you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. So in today's video, unlike my usual fragrance videos, we're just gonna talk about the feel and the essence that these fragrances give. And I'll be chatting about how they make me feel and what I smell in general. I'll also put the notes on the screen. This first one is Afnan's Edict Amber Rhythm. This is a fragrance that I feel is a signature scent. This is for the classy gal or guy. I think this comes across as more classy, more sophisticated, more grown up, yet it's also very warm and inviting. This fragrance smells so expensive, but it is so affordable. Not only that, this fragrance is extremely long lasting and it projects. This is what I would classify as a beast mode type of scent. So you definitely get a good value for the money you pay and no one would be the wiser. So Amber Rhythm is warm, it's slightly spicy, it's creamy, it's very sweet, it's a little woody, very vanillic, and overall it's like this really cozy yet sophisticated and luxurious feeling balsamic fragrance. It is so good. There is saffron in here. You have tonka bean, amber, and cinnamon, and all of those notes come together to give you something that is very reminiscent of Baccarat Rouge 540, except this fragrance feels heavier, more dense, more creamy, more warm, and more sweet in my opinion. So this fragrance is so luxurious smelling. It smells so expensive, so expensive. I've had this one for a little while now and it's been macerating and I feel like all of the notes have gotten so much stronger in this fragrance. This is one that I will be revisiting this fall and winter. It's going to be in heavy rotation because this one just smells so expensive. It's so good. This fragrance, although it has those sweet elements, I wouldn't classify it as a gourmand. It's not like a true gourmand. It's not extremely edible smelling, but it has those edible smelling notes. And then it has jasmine and saffron, and I believe there's ambergris in here. So this smells very elevated. This is like a very sweet, cozy, warm, sexy, yet elevated type of fragrance. This is one I could pull out for running errands, but this is the perfect scent for special occasions. And so that's why I think this is a really nice signature scent. You can wear it all year round. It projects, it lasts, and it is a crowd-pleasing DNA. So this is Afnan Edict Amber Rhythm. Speaking of warm and sweet and grown up and elevated, this next fragrance is all of those things, and it's so affordable. This is Fragrance World's Barakat Gentle Gold. I just recently talked all about this fragrance in a dedicated video, so I will link the video here, and I highly recommend watching that video for my full thoughts on this fragrance and for more detail. But just know that this fragrance is a mostly vanilla fragrance, and this one, unlike the OG, at least at the moment, is creamier, sweeter, and less earthy to my nose. So I think that that makes it even more likable by many types of fragrance wearers, no matter what your nose tends to gravitate towards. You may really enjoy this fragrance, especially if you love vanilla. If you're not the biggest fan of gourmand fragrances or fragrances that smell edible, and if you have a hard time with certain kinds of vanillas that feel very sweet and food-like, but you still enjoy a good vanilla fragrance, then I think this is a great option. This fragrance is supposed to be a dupe of MFK's Gentle Fluidity Gold, but I think this one is even more universal and more of like a signature scent for a variety of different tastes, because this one is creamier, sweeter, and I feel like those earthy notes are a little less noticeable, less prominent in this fragrance. This is fairly new to my collection, but I will say that this smells so pleasant. It's this really soft, fluffy, creamy, vanillic fragrance that I can see being worn in an office setting with other coworkers, and this fragrance can also be worn for a night out. I think this can be worn in fall, winter, spring, and summer. And so for that reason, I think Fragrance World's Barakat Gentle Gold is the perfect signature scent. Speaking of vanilla, this next one is a different kind of vanilla. This vanilla is very soft and light and pleasant, dainty, and very feminine in my opinion. It's super luxurious smelling and sophisticated, yet it is also very inviting and a very approachable scent. The fragrance I'm talking about is Janun Noah by Al Haramain. So this fragrance I've talked about numerous times on this channel. I will link a video here so that you can go back and hear my thoughts. Oh, I'll probably link the dedicated video that I did for this one, but y'all, this fragrance is the perfect signature scent. If you tend to enjoy very girly, feminine, soft type of fragrances, and you also love a good vanilla, then I would highly recommend this fragrance right here. This is another really great performer. This is super duper long lasting, and in my opinion, this gives moderate projection for I think about a good 6 to 8 hours. So this one will go the distance with you on those really long days when you're out and about and you want your fragrance to still be on you and be detectable. This will do that. So this is a very light and vanillic fragrance to my nose. I think it's more like a whipped sort of vanilla, and as it dries down it gets more creamy and it gets sweeter. But there's also this powdery aspect to this fragrance that should be noted. So if you don't enjoy powdery fragrances, this does have a prominent powdery aspect. But I think that that powdery aspect really adds to the signature scent worthiness of this fragrance because it keeps this fragrance very light. So that means you can wear this all year round in any season and it will be appropriate. And it will keep you smelling fresh and inviting. So this is one that is crowd pleasing, and it's one that I don't have to think hard about. When I'm not sure what to wear, this is the kind of fragrance that I just reach for. It's an easy reach type of scent, and it goes with a lot of different moods and feels and outfits. So I love this one. It is a great fragrance, great value, and as I mentioned, I did a dedicated video for this one, so please go and check that one out. This is Janun Noah by Al Haramain. Recently, a member of the fragrance family asked me what I think would be some great bridal fragrances on the Arabian side. And that question kind of stumped me. I wasn't sure what to recommend at first because a wedding is such a big deal. But a lot of times when we think of our wedding day, we think of spending and spending lots of money. So her question really got me thinking outside of the box. And I did make some recommendations to her with the caveat that she needed to test these fragrances out for a significant amount of time before deciding on a fragrance for such a special day and such a special occasion. And one of the fragrances I ended up recommending to her was this one, La Fleur Bouquet by Afnan. When I think of a wedding, I think of flowers. I think of every corner, every space, every piece of decor being adorned by some kind of flower or a bouquet of flowers. That's what I have in my mind when I think of weddings. So this fragrance is aptly named because this is the most beautiful bouquet of flowers. And I also love that there's a fruity element to this fragrance as well. So it's not just straight up flowers. There are no harsh white florals in here. To my nose, this fragrance is just a mix of gorgeous, creamy, sweet flowers. That's what I'm getting from this fragrance. La Fleur Bouquet is also very fresh feeling, and I think there's nothing more that you want on your special day than to smell like a fresh sweet, very crisp bouquet of flowers, especially if you're doing something outdoors. So I enjoy all aspects of this fragrance. I enjoy the bright and fresh aspects. I enjoy the floral aspects, and I think it has a little bit of sweetness, just enough sweetness to be palatable to any type of fragrance nose. Perfect for office settings, for meetings, for brunches, for lunches, and you can also wear this in the evening for dinner, depending on what your mood is. So as you can tell, I would recommend this for a wedding, and this is also something I would wear on a day-to-day basis. So this fragrance crosses many types of occasions, and it is a crowd-pleasing scent, and I think for those reasons it is signature scent worthy. It's so beautiful, so light, and just so pleasant. It's perfect for year-round. This is one I've been playing around with recently, and I've really been enjoying it. I think it's so pretty, and it's one of those pretty girl type of fragrances. So this is La Fleur Bouquet by Afnan. The last fragrance I have here is also by Afnan, and this is a viral Arabian fragrance. It's one that I did a dedicated video on where I compared it to another fragrance it's supposed to be duping. And if you want to hear all about this fragrance, I will link the video here. The fragrance I'm talking about is the ever famous Mystique Bouquet by Afnan. Mystique Bouquet is such a gorgeous scent. I have been told by one of my subbies that Mystique Bouquet smells very similar to La Fleur Bouquet. And in my opinion, while I think they share some aspects, I think they share some accords, some notes, I feel like they are two distinct fragrances. And that's from when I first sprayed them out all the way into the dry down. I think they're two distinct fragrances. This one has more of a citrusy feel. This one is more unisex than La Fleur Bouquet. And this one I feel like is more airy. It's even more light, even more fresh. And there's less of an emphasis on florals in here. But in my opinion, this fragrance has more of an emphasis on the peach note. And it has this like light woodiness, and it also places a little bit more emphasis on this citrus feel, in my opinion. So I feel like this one is closer to a freshie. However, this is one that could be worn year-round. It's definitely more of a favorite in the spring and summer, but this is one you could spritz on in the fall and winter if you're not big on sweet fragrances, you don't really enjoy gourmand type fragrances, and you want something that you can wear in the office, in any type of setting that's not going to impose on anyone else's preferences. I think this is a really nice one. It's universal, it crosses seasons, and it is also very pleasant and a crowd-pleasing scent in my opinion. As I mentioned, I did a video all about this fragrance and all of its aspects. It is such a gorgeous blend of just very citrusy, fruity, slightly woody, and very sweet aspects, yet it stays very fresh and light. So please feel free to go and check out that video for more details on this one. This is a fragrance that never fails. It's going to deliver every single time. It's just so beautiful, and I still can't get over how affordable this one is. It's so good. The packaging is beautiful. I did a video all about packaging, and the packaging for these fragrances is absolutely stunning. And then the performance is very nice on these fragrances. These fragrances project moderately and are pretty long lasting in my opinion. So lots of value for what you pay. And like I said, this is definitely a signature scent worthy type of fragrance. This is Afnan's Mystique Bouquet. If you're still here, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out and talk fragrances with me. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like on your way out, because that really helps my channel continue to grow. And if you are here and you're not subscribed but you love a good fragrance video, I make tons of fragrance content on this channel, and I would love to have you become a part of our fragrance family. Before you click off, I want to remind you today that there is beauty in every phase of the metamorphosis process. So my 9-year-old is into anything bug related. He will give you a full-on lesson in bugs. And one of the things he had gotten into recently was butterflies and all of the different phases of their metamorphosis. And while doing this sort of real life science experiment with him, I was learning just as much as he was learning. We got to observe the stage in the process where you have an egg, and then we watched the egg turn into this itty bitty little caterpillar. We then watched the caterpillars eat and eat and eat until they were ginormous in size. And then we watched them attach themselves to his habitat, get into this J formation and do their little caterpillar dance and form the chrysalis. We watched the chrysalis change in color. It went from being opaque to translucent, and at the end, a beautiful butterfly emerged. And what that taught me is that there is beauty and value and importance in every single stage of that metamorphosis process. And I feel like as humans, we tend to go through different types of metamorphoses. And we may go through phases where we feel like it doesn't seem as if much is happening, or what we are displaying at the moment doesn't necessarily look like it's a whole lot. But trust the process, because each part of your process is necessary and a building block for the next step in the process, and ultimately what you want to achieve, whatever your desired outcome is. This is a life lesson that I have observed up close and personal with my 9-year-old. So I will definitely be over here reflecting and doing the same. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.